If you are an American and you are not proud of and celebrating the 250th anniversary of this country, then please go somewhere else. Welcome to the Greater Purpose Podcast from the Cubs Den. Just a few days before celebrating the 250th anniversary of America, America 250. Glad to have you here. We hope you will check out the rest of our episodes. We've been doing this for a little over 3 years now. And as I've been saying the last couple weeks, we are going to get back to having some guests. We have a couple more things that we want to do that are not guest related. If we can get it all together next week, we're going to share some stuff from our visit to the Capitol, Washington, D.C. this past week. Hopefully we'll be able to put that together. We should be able to get that done for next week's podcast. And then we will be getting some guests in here. So we have several lined up, been talking to them over the weekend. And to some degree, it's just a matter of me being available for them. It's not necessarily them being available for me. It's just been kind of busy, but that's okay. That's a good thing. God is keeping us active, so that's a wonderful thing, in my opinion. We hope you'll support our sponsors. We've mentioned them on here before many times. If you'll please go back and check them out. But A+, Morgan's Shoes and Bootery, and they support the men's conference, and so by supporting the men's conference, they support the podcast as well. Mr. Bill's STEM Education and Bill Ward Photography, shameless plug there. But we've got a lot of great supporters, a lot of great people who sponsor the men's event, thereby sponsoring this. So if you'll go back and check all those out, we would appreciate that. Today we are going to talk about America 250. So a couple weeks ago I was looking around at the store and seeing only a few things that were celebrating America 250. I see a lot of things that say 4th of July and, picnicking stuff and all that, and red, white, and blue. That's great. That's country. But I was not seeing a lot of 250 anniversary celebration related things. So what I do remember, I think I said this in the last podcast, when I was a kid in 1976, I guess I would have been 13. And if my memory serves me correctly, that entire year in school leading up to 250, and maybe it was only, the last few months of school, and which is why I would have remembered it being so massive. We talked and discussed, and I remember seeing products and seeing things and hearing people talk about the bicentennial. Like it was everywhere, literally everywhere. And it's kind of shameful to me, but partially because of this anti-American media frenzy that we've seen, the left-wing socialist media out there that's just slamming the country because they don't like our president, which is absolutely ridiculous, because the president in 1976 was, I don't want to say any bad names, he was not a good president, probably one of the worst, at least the worst, well, I can't say the worst in my memory because we just had the worst one 4 years ago, but pretty close to that. Before him, this guy was top ranking, so we've had some pretty bad ones, and I'm just going to say most of them have been on the left. A couple of them have been fairly moderate, and they've been okay, but anyway, that's just my opinion, maybe not yours, but he was one of the absolute worst. But we didn't think about the fact that we had this absolutely terrible president in the office. What we thought about was that we were celebrating our heritage and the founding of our country and what our founders gave us and what people fought for through all those, at that time, 200 years. So that's what we're doing now, or we're supposed to be doing, and that's why the opening was kind of a catcher. If you're not proud of this country, then go ahead and go somewhere else. You don't need to stay here for this podcast. And that's great. You're watching, we get views, we get likes, we get maybe subscribers. I doubt that. If you don't like what our content is, you wouldn't do that. But honestly speaking, it's like my pastor says, if you don't like what's happening, then go somewhere else. And as blunt as that may be, it's okay. You don't need to sit here and listen to America 250 and put your ridiculous foul-mouthed comments in the comment section. By the way, I have deleted some recently that have been slamming some people that we've been posting shorts and videos and clips of, and it's because it was insulting, defamatory, lies, falsehoods, that kind of thing. Just, I mean, complete lies. That's what the left does. So, but you know what I've decided I'm going to do, I think, from here on out? I'm going to leave them in there. Even as nasty and disgusting and as horrible as they are, I think it's helpful not to give them attention. I'm not going to point them out and give anybody more attention than what they deserve, which they deserve none. But maybe it's helpful for those of us who are conservative Christian thinkers and believers to see that there are disgusting people out there. And there are a lot of them, and they are on the left. I wasn't intending to get in this, but I'm going to real quick. Before we go to the America 250 stuff, stop saying socialist Democrat. There's no such thing. A socialist is not a Democrat. What a Democrat used to be is not what a Democrat is now. So you got to stop. You got to stop that stuff. There are some, I guess, some fairly decent people that are Democrats, just regular people like me. I don't know where they are. I haven't met any recently, but I'm sure that they're out there. And some who maybe truly believe in this country and still love this country and still believe that abortion is wrong and still believe that we should have the freedoms that we have and criminals shouldn't be running around free and illegal immigrants are in fact criminals, etc. I'm sure there's some out there, and maybe I haven't heard any. Maybe they're out there. We're just not hearing from them. But what we're hearing from this social democrat stuff is there's no such thing. So we just need to stop saying that. Just call them socialist. Some of them have admitted that they're communist. It's pretty much the same thing. I know there are differences between those descriptions and titles, but just go ahead and call them what they are. There's no reason to do this, and we need to have a separate place on the ballot. So Republican, Democrat, Socialist, Communist, whatever. And in my opinion, I don't know how it works because I don't run the elections, the election system. But they need to be declaring as what they are. So we had one recently here who was a Democrat. She registered as a Republican, ran against our Congressman Tim Moore in the primary. Not a Democrat. I mean, admitted she wasn't a Republican. So I guess as long as you change your party affiliation, then that's all it takes, technically. But I don't know if that's how this Constitution was set up. But there should be some kind of declaration of your principles. But I don't know how you would do that. So anyway, jumping from that, America 250. I'm proud of my country. I hope that you are. God has blessed this country tremendously. Even if there are political leaders that you don't like, God put them in place for certain reasons. I've dealt with multiple of them. We dealt with 12 years of complete bad policies that did terrible things to this country. 12 years not in a row, 8 years, then 4 we had pretty good policies, and then 4 of absolutely terrible, absolutely socialist, progressive, wokist, garbage policies. And so now we're trying to overcome that. And we're overcoming that with a man that you may or may not appreciate, and you may think he says bad things and hurts people's feelings, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I don't like to listen to it. I don't like to hear it. But at the same time, this particular president, I'm just going to say this here, our particular president, Donald Trump, right now, has done more for Christian liberty, religious freedom, and really freedom of all religions than any other president. It was said over this weekend several times at the Faith and Freedom Conference, than any other president in our lifetimes. Now, maybe not before that, because we're a Christian nation. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So appreciate that, and just know that God put him in place. You may not like him, might be rough around the edges, says bad things, mean tweets, all that kind of stuff, but get over your hurt feelings, get over all that garbage, and move forward and support this country and try to appreciate the blessings that we have. So here we go. We've got some things before I get into America 250, and you say, well, we're not a Christian nation, so what are you even talking about? Good. I like that. I'm glad you did that. So I hope you stayed around for that if you're one of those. The future and success of America is not in the Constitution, but in the laws of God upon which the Constitution is founded. Not said recently. James Madison said that. America is great because America is good. If America ever ceases to be good, America will cease to be great. Not an American, an outsider foreigner recognize this. Alexis de Tocqueville. Hopefully I'm saying that right. The only hope of our republic is in the gospel of Jesus Christ. Calvin Coolidge. And some of these were not great leaders. They just weren't. But that's not the point. They were patriotic and they were Christian. We recognize no sovereign but God and no king, but Jesus. John Adams. America was born to exemplify devotion to the elements of righteousness which are derived from the revelations of Holy Scripture. Woodrow Wilson. And I've been posting these up for, I'm leading up to the 4th of July, and I've been posting them up now, I think, for just about the whole month. And somebody posted some nasty comment about, I won't say which president, but one of them. Well, actually, they posted up nasty comments about a couple of them. And you know what? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the fact that maybe this person was there was one president I heard about this morning. He's not in here in any of these quotes, but talking about he was the bourbon president. I don't appreciate that. I'm not gonna celebrate. I'm not gonna celebrate that. But what I'm gonna say is that God used these certain people for blessing this country. The Bible is the rock on which this republic rests. Andrew Jackson. Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure. Ronald Reagan. A thorough knowledge of the Bible is worth more than a college education. Theodore Roosevelt. And that's true, by the way. The foundations of our society and our government rest so much on the teachings of the Bible. Again, Woodrow Wilson. Freedom prospers when religion is vibrant and the rule of law under God is acknowledged. Ronald Reagan. Again, Ronald Reagan. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Let's see. Righteousness exalteth a nation. Patrick Henry. And our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. John Adams. The founders, guys. I mean, Ronald Reagan was a founder. Woodrow Wilson wasn't, but these others were the founders. Again, another founder. God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. Thomas Jefferson. And the last one, before I go into the America 250 stuff, it cannot be emphasized too strongly or too often that this great nation was founded not by religionists, but by Christians. Patrick Henry. Okay, so if you're going to try to go into that old line that we're not a Christian nation, then on you, because you're wrong. You are mistaken, severely mistaken. That doesn't mean that Christianity is the religion of the country. That doesn't mean that you're forced to worship Jesus Christ, accept Jesus Christ your Savior, worship Jesus, God, the Holy Spirit. That doesn't mean that. But what it means is that's what we were founded on. And we were. So anybody tells you differently, they're 100% wrong. Many, many, many more quotes on that. But real quick here, we're going to start with, I said last week I wanted to do the America 250 products. Had a few of them sent to me, and I took some pictures of others. So hopefully what I'm going to try to do is, as I'm talking about the product, is post it up so you can see it, so I don't have to turn it around with my tablet and you got to look at the tablet. But one real quick, there's all kinds of things you can order online. Like I had this Chicago Cubs, pretty cool, 250-year anniversary. But this does not fit. And it's from a secondary vendor. You know how those are online. So that it's not, I think it should face the other way for the camera. What do you think? Yeah, let's do that. It doesn't fit. So it's going to be retired to the Cubs room. But you can get all kinds of stuff so if you look stuff up, I understand there's all kinds of things out there. This hat as well. But I was talking about specifically products that I saw in the store. And I have two other things I want to talk about when we get done after I go through the products. But let's do the products real quick so we can bust through this. And then you can move on with your day. So America 250 is what we're talking about right here. And so that is a trademark. And there are companies using the trademark, America 250. Some are just saying 250th anniversary, and that's cool too. That's great. So, but I'm just going to go through these as I have them in here. Looking around stores for things. People sent me a couple things. I was just really kind of shocked at the lack of products, but then I started seeing some more. Let me start here. This is Museum of the Bible. Now this one, yeah. I'll pop up the picture up there. Museum of the Bible, which we just went to see, and that was pretty cool. That's Americopoly. Americopoly, a fun game celebrating the great American semi-quintennial, which I think I said that wrong last week. Semi-quintennial. So that's kind of cool. But the Museum of the Bible had all kinds of America 250 stuff. There's some candies and some just different things. So they had a bunch of stuff, but I expect that there. And that was all through America 250. So that was not, some of their stuff was branded, but most of it was just America 250 in the Museum Museum of the Bible store. So let's go backwards. I'm going to start at the back here. So Domino Sugar. This was sent to me by Gil Villatoro. I don't remember where all the other pictures came from, but I know this one for sure. I'll pop the picture up there so you can see it a little bit better. But Let Freedom Ring, Home of the Brave, Liberty for All, We the People, Stars and Stripes, Land of the Free. So these are all America 250 Domino Sugar packs. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was really neat. Support Domino. By the way, I know some of these companies may have other issues, things that, reasons why we may not support them, etc. But they're doing this. And does this make them Christians? No. Does this make them conservatives? No, not necessarily. But what it does do is it shows that they're supporting the country. So I want to support them, even if there might be some other things that might be controversial, or support them now and then, keep tabs on them, make sure they're still supporting America and supporting American values. Because if they're putting America 250 on their products, that's support of American values. So this one was Academy Sports, which is pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat. Pulled something up on their website, a summer 250 years in the making, and it says shop red, white, and fun. And I get it. These are marketing things. I get that, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what America's about: capitalism, marketing, that kind of stuff. Let's see here. So this is Cheetos, Doritos, all those guys. That's oh my gosh, I know the name of the company. It's it's not Lay's. It's gosh, I don't know the company. How can I not know that? It's not Lay's. Anyway, the company that makes Cheetos, Doritos, Fritos, Lay's, Ruffles, so they had bags of 250, and it says celebrating 250 years of America. It's got something limited edition, etc. So again, I know it's marketing, but still, America and 250, it's got in it. That's what we were shooting for here. Pringles. They had 4 different cans. America's 250th anniversary on each of them. Each one has a different color. Sour cream and onion, original barbecue, cheddar cheese, but party stack, all that stuff. But anyway, cases and cases of the America's 250th anniversary Pringles. Fire department run by FDC Fire Department coffee. Original medium roast. At first I didn't take a picture of this because I wasn't sure until I saw, because you look at the package, red, white, and blue, there's a lot of that stuff going around. But I did. It does have the 250, celebrating 250 years of freedom. So there you go. That's pretty cool. And I said that was Fire Department coffee run by FDC fighters. So, and that was at Aldi's, of all places. Another one, this was also at Aldi's, 1776 Liberty Blend, Philadelphia, USA, 250-year anniversary. So that's the coffee can. Colombe coffee, medium ground roast. Anyway, so there you go. I almost bought it, even though I probably wouldn't drink that. I grind my own beans. I would not necessarily drink it, but I almost bought it just because it had on. I didn't buy all these, by the way. And then Welch's fruit snacks, which, I don't know how healthy those are for you, but still, Welch's fruit snacks, celebrating USA 250 years. So there you go. That's a good one. And Funfetti Pillsbury, happy 250 birthday, America. And then the doughboy there with his little stars eyes, not stars and stripes. Oh, the stripes are right next to him. So Funfetti by Pillsbury. Okay, got a couple more here. Not a lot, like I said. I was a little disappointed in that. M&M's, 250 years is pretty sweet. Celebrate America with your favorite treat. Dun, 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 dun. Cool, pretty neat, I thought. And then one more we have, and that is Coca-Cola. And I'm pretty sure Coca-Cola has always celebrated the 4th of July. I remember Coca-Cola stuff for the bicentennial, but there it is, America 250. And I should have pulled out the bottle, because the bottles had some designs on them as well, but America 250. So here's what I'd like you to do, if you're still hanging with me there. Hopefully you are. Take pictures of products that you see that have America and 250. It doesn't have to be the design, doesn't have to be the trademark design, that one. But celebrating America 250, America 250, congratulations, anything like that, because some of those just had reference, some of them used the trademark, etc. Take pictures of those things and send them to us. We would appreciate that. Maybe we'll post them up at a later date. That'd be kind of cool. Or if you just want to tag them in the comments and tell us where you saw the item, and then we'll be looking for it. The name of the company, give them a shout out, that kind of thing. The Bible and America 250 had the little bag there, but like I said, I would expect that at the Museum of the Bible. But I had two other things. So like I said, you can find all kinds of things online. I was able to get these coins, and on the back, I'll show you that in a minute, E Pluribus Unum, United States of America. But the front that you just saw was 1776 to 2026, defending liberty. Since 1776, 250 years strong. So that was that one. That was kind of cool, I thought. Pretty neat challenge coin there. And then the last thing I want to leave you with is this one, which again, this was at the Bible, the Museum of the Bible, and the front of it is the Liberty Bell, United States of America, 250 years. Very cool, I think. There. And then the back of it with their logo. So, very cool. The Bible and America 250. Museum of the Bible, which the Bible is more than 250 years old. But anyway, and that's their logo, by the way. That's not a B. That's their logo, which is the Bible Open. Is kind of an interesting. You can see that in this logo here. So pretty cool. All right. So anyway, so that's it. This is the America 250 edition. God bless America. God bless you. Thank you for being here. We'll talk more about our DC trip, which was amazing, and some of the things we got to see and share there. I posted up those quotes from Christian leaders over the last 250 years. I've been posting them up as shorts, so please go back and check those out. Please share them. You've got people that are telling you we're not a Christian nation. Pull them up and share them. Just say, hey, how about this? Okay? Even better, send it to them, and then that way it'll be on their phone, and they have to see it on their phone. But anyway, and plus it's an extra view for us. But no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, send it to them, show it to them, however you want to do that. Make it clear. Just I've been posting one, like I said, every day for the last several weeks. Just scroll through, show them that one, go to the next one, show them that one. Show them that one. Anyway, but also send us the products that you find out there that are America 250 celebrating our country. God bless America. God bless you. Thank you for checking out the Greater Purpose Podcast from the Cubs Den, and we'll see you next week on the Greater Purpose Podcast. God bless.